Welcome back, everybody, to Empyrion Galactic Survival on version 1.1.6. This is the Getting Started tutorial series, and I am anoldguygaming, and we're going to pick up right where we left off in the last episode, and keep working on our hover vessel. We got a lot left to do on this, so we're going to get right to it. So I'm going to connect to our output, and I have some more extensions being made up, and I have some more steel blocks being made up. We've got 3 drills, a minigun turret, and I have one more Gatling gun because we're going to do a 3-gun / 3 drill build here. Now our goal for this particular hover vessel is going to be to make kind of like an all-purpose hover vessel. We're not going to make one that's dedicated to mining or dedicated to combat, or exploration or whatever. This one's going to be, kind of fill all the roles. It's not going to be superb in every role, but it's going to be adequate in those roles, okay? But keep that in mind. If you're going to build a vessel that's specifically for mining versus building one that's specifically for combat, you would change things up a little bit. Mining, for example, assuming it's going to be something you're going to mine in deposits, you want it to be a little narrower, right? Whereas with combat, you're going to want it to be able to support more guns and have, probably armored steel on it if you can. Combat steel, that's what I was trying to say. Sorry about that. And so the point there being, that the role of the vessel will kind of determine how you build it. But in our case, we just want to make something that is all-purpose and will, do a decent job in all of those roles, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to change up a couple of things with the current build here, because I spent some time off camera messing with this to try and decide what exactly I want to do with it. And so let's see. What we're going to do is we're going to pick up the thrusters, the side thrusters. And I'm going to, let's see, we're going to also do something different here too. So we're going to pick up everything off the top here. Actually, before I go any further with that, let's go, we need to eat. Let's chow down on a couple cheeseburgers here. I just checked the garden before I started the camera, so we're still waiting for the pumpkins to come back in. But we got lots of food, so we're doing good. Let's grab those thrusters again, and let's grab those. And what I want to do is I'm going to place the thrusters here. And you'll see why here in a little bit. And that way. Okay. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to remove this stuff and reposition it. So let's pull that up. All of those things. Now, keeping with, our goal to try and, keep everything centered as much as possible, both, front to back and side to side, we're going to take a look at these 3 things and see what the weights are. So I just happen to know that the wireless connector is 160 kilograms, the detector is 100 kilograms, and the refrigerator is the lightest of those, coming in at 62. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the wireless here, then we're going to put the detector here, and the refrigerator we'll put right not there. Okay. Now, one of the things that I want to do with this particular hover vessel is I want to keep it a low profile vessel. Just because, I don't know, I kind of like that sleek, Formula One race car type of look. So, that it's just more of an aesthetic thing, but the lower profile it is too, that's gonna help in terms of it not being too high, when you're trying to dig a tunnel, that sort of thing. Of course, it's going to be a little wider too, but as long as you place the drills properly, that shouldn't be too big of a deal. So, but there's another reason why I did this too, and that reason is this. We are going to take, and we're going to use the retractable version of the minigun, and if we do that, it fits there nicely. If I would have kept things the way they were, we would have had to put the minigun up another block higher, which would have made the vessel higher than I want it to be. So that's why I'm moving that stuff around. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to devices. Let's just auto group. But specifically, I want to go here. I'm sorry, turrets and weapons, and let's pull that sucker in. Okay. Now, the other thing we're going to do here is we're going to remove the light for the moment. And I'm going to, based upon, what I did earlier with this vessel, I'm going to actually put a couple of RCSs on this too. It's just going to help, with the turning and that sort of thing. So let's go here to our constructor, and we're going to make 2 RCSs. Where are they? Right here. So let's queue up a couple of those. We're probably going to, by the time this is all said and done, we're probably also going to need to add a few more thrusters to it, for the performance, but we'll worry about that later. While we're in here, we're going to need 4 docking pads. I'm going to go ahead and put docking pads on here after all. We want 2 boosters. I'll explain what those do when the time comes. And I think that's good for now. So let's grab our drills. And I'm actually going to place the drills right now so I kind of know what I have to work with. So let's press the T key. And I'm going to put the drills, one there, and we're going to put the bottom drill or the middle drill down 1 block, but we can't do that yet until we get this thing off the ground, which we could probably actually do right now. But let's grab the RCS, and I'm going to put one of those RCSs right here. All right, so let's get out of here and get out of there. How much fuel do we have in here? Oh, we got lots of fuel. Okay, so I'm just going to move this up off the ground just a little bit, maybe about that far for now. And we're going to take the 3rd drill. And I'm going to put it in front of the RCS, but then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the page down key, because I want it to go down 1. And the reason I'm doing that is so, we kind of spread the drills out in both directions so that it will drill a little bit larger area for the vessel. And you could even, if you wanted to add a 4th drill, you could even put one, on the top of the RCS. It's going to block your view from first person, but you'll still be fine in third person. But for now, we're just going to go with a 3 drill setup. You can always temporarily throw more drills on later if you feel like you needed to. But for this build, we're going to go with the 3 drill setup. So what I'm doing, guys, if it isn't obvious, is I'm kind of getting the vessel set up with all of the rest of the stuff so that I can build around it. That's essentially what's going on here. All right, so we have placed everything on here that we're going to place on here for the most part, except for some things that we'll put on the bottom later. There is the other thing we're going to do is we're going to change out the drills for the Gatling guns, depending upon what we're planning on doing with the vessel at that time. So we've got 3 Gatling guns here, and what I can do is I can just pick up these drills with my multi-tool. Make sure you pick up whole blocks so you save them, and then plop the Gatling guns in their place. So that way, we can kind of change things out with this multi-purpose vessel. Okay, cool. So I think we're done, excuse me, at the moment, getting all that stuff in place. Now what we're going to do is we're going to, let's get in our drone, and we're going to put the symmetry plane on, and we're going to start putting some blocks on this thing. All right, so the first thing I want to do is I want to take care of this. So we're going to go to our toolbar with the T key, and I'm going to grab just a normal steel block. And by the way, if you were, you could later on upgrade this to combat steel, and you probably should at some point, but we're just going to use normal steel and extensions for now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and I'm going to go to corners and connectors, and I'm going to find this transition block here that will transition from a cube to a round corner. Okay, and then we're just going to rotate it, let's see, this way. Gotta check the light. Yep, that's right. And it doesn't fit perfectly, but it's pretty darn close. And the reason it doesn't fit perfectly is because the cockpit is not, like a perfect half or a quarter circle there. It's not quite, but I mean, that's about as close as we're going to be able to get it. Okay, so that's an example of where you would use the transition blocks. Cool. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to place a row of extensions. Let's get back to here. So we're just going to run a row of extensions all the way. Oh, crap, that's right. You can't click and drag extensions. You have to place them one at a time. So we're just going to put these out just like this. Oh, shit. Base is under attack. Okay, here. Let's do this. Let's turn that off. And we're going to hop in our hover vessel and leave because I don't want it to get shot up. We're in the process of building it. And let's see if we can see where those guys are coming from. Okay, so they're coming from the east. Kind of the northeast. I'm going to see if... Okay, it is a troop transport. If that troop transport manages to land and let its dudes out, let's see if they'll actually hack our base. And then that way we can try our backdoor tunnel and see how it works. So the cannons are going to work on it. Troop transports do not fire back. They do have a gun on the front, but for whatever reason, they don't actually fire back. So we'll see if it can survive. Looks like it's probably going to make it. Okay, so once he hits the ground, he's going to drop off his troops, and one of those troops is going to be a hacker. So let's just wait a second. Okay, so the transport's taken back off, but it's probably not, yeah, I was going to say, it's probably not going to make it. At this point, though, if we were 100% reliant upon our cannons to protect our base, which we wouldn't because I would actively help them in a normal situation, we can also see that 4 cannons is not quite enough to take down a troop transport, so we would have to add some more cannons or just. So that cannon's shooting at one of the troops. The cannons will kill them too if they can, but it's just a matter of seeing if the troops can get to our base and either hack it or at least try and break into it. I want to be careful. I don't want to get too close myself because I don't want this ship to get shot. So let's do this. Let's park it right here. And I'm going to hop out and get in my drone and just do a little reconnoiter here. Oh, okay, so 2 of them are dead, but we got this guy, Xerax minigun, trying to break into our base, and it looks like he just did. So what we're going to do is we're going to go kill him before he does any more damage. But it looks to me like the other 2 were killed, and... Hey, dude. Cut it out. And one of those guys that the cannons killed was probably the hacker. Okay, and let's also loot this. Let's see what we got here. Oh, nice. A T2 assault rifle, some fuel, and antibiotic equipment. That's not bad stuff at all. Let's go ahead and eat an alien peanut butter and jelly sandwich with an olive on it right now. And yeah, look at that. We got a Tech 2 assault rifle. That's not bad. I mean, I still prefer the Tech 2 pulse rifle over the assault rifle, but you know, it's a worthy weapon. And we got some fuel out of the deal too. So yeah, whenever you shoot down a troop transport, you know, make sure you do loot it because it can have some pretty good stuff. So here again, that cannon there saved the day, at least in terms of, you know, these guys trying to hack our base. And one of these guys probably would have been the hacker, I'm thinking. This guy managed to get away from our guns and, you know, come in and start messing with their base, but he didn't really get very far. So let's just repair this. We're going to right-click and go to repair. And let's just make sure he didn't do any more damage. So the way I'm going to do that is press the P key, go to devices, expand everything. Okay, so we do have an output bin that was damaged, and it looks like that's it. What they'll try and do, if I would have just let him continue, he probably would have tried to target our generator as soon as he got all the way in here. Most likely that's what he would have done. So he only managed really to break 2 blocks, and everything else is good, except for just a little squirt on that, looks like. So the elevator, the door, and all that's good. Yeah, so it's kind of a bummer, I guess, that, you know, we didn't have a chance to actually see it in action, but on the other hand, our base didn't get all wrecked either, so thankful for that, eh? All right, let's go ahead and replace. Looks like we might need to grab 4 blocks in total. I could have just wirelessly connected to it, but that's too far. Okay, that's fine. We'll just put that one there. That'll work. Okay, let's get this out, and we're using this pattern with this color. So that fixes that. And then this is, I think, this pattern with no color. And we're back to good. All right, so for here, we're going to use cut corner E to do that kind of a thing. Oh, I need to get the symmetry plane on. And let's do the same thing in the back here. Let's pull these blocks back up for a minute. Actually, I want those pulled up too. Press T, go back to our toolbar menu, and let's plop those in place like that. We're going to grab the ramp Cs, and we're going to plop those in like so. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to corner half A, and we're going to put those in here like so. Yeah, I've got a couple screenshots up of my test build to help me out here, because I'm not going to remember all this otherwise. Yeah, okay, I think that's what we did there. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and work a bit on the front end now. So what we're going to do here is, okay, we're going to switch to steel blocks now, because we have a lot more variety in terms of the shapes. And what I'm going to do is go to corners and connectors, and I'm going to select the corner half A3 low. Okay, and we're going to put that here and here and there. I think that's right. Okay, and then we're going to go to ramp C low and pop ramp C low in there. We're going to use ramp C low for a few more things too. I'm going to turn this like so, and we're going to build these out to here. No further than that, though, for the moment. And then let's also flip this way. And we might need to actually get this a little higher up. Let's get a little higher. Well, actually, let's just raise it all the way up, and we'll just use our drone for the stuff on top. That way we can get right underneath it. Whoop. Okay. Now, this one I'm going to turn and go that direction with it. At least for those two for the moment. I might end up changing that later, but let's go with that for now. Okay, now, next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to press T, go to walls, and choose the wall block. This is the flat one. And then let's flip it this way. And we're going to put those there. Okay. Now, here we have a corner that we can put in here, and I think I gotta remember where that corner is at. I think it's this corner, cut corner D low that fits in there. Gotta make sure I'm looking at this from the right side. Yep, that's the one. Okay, cool. Good deal. All right, now, next thing we're going to do is we're going to put just some whole steel blocks in here up to about here. And then we're going to grab our light, our spotlight. We're going to right click and we're going to choose the slope version. There's two slope versions of this light. There's one that points down at a 45-degree angle and one that will still point straight out even though the light itself is sloped. And that's the one we want. And we're going to pop the light right there. This kind of gives it a little bit of a trident type of flavor, you know, on the front of the ship here. And actually, I wanted to make a couple of deco things too. So let's go back into here for a minute. Go here. And I want to make... Oh, here we go. I'm going to make two deco devices. We are going to go back to ramp low C. And we're going to... let's put a wall piece there. Okay. So far, so good. All right, now, along the side here, we're going to take this same ramp C low. Oh, no, we're on the wall one. So let's go back to ramp C low. And we're going to turn it this way and just do that kind of a thing with it. Now, we can't put anything in here because of the thrusters. So these are going to have to stay open, but I'm doing that deliberately because, again, I want to give the vessel, you know, kind of a trident sort of look to it. So yeah, that is on purpose. Okay, so one of our decos done? Yes, they are. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to right-click and we're going to choose this intake and flip it around this way and put the intake there. That's purely a decoration. It doesn't actually do anything functional for real, but it looks cool. Okay, so we'll put that there. All right, I think that pretty much covers the top front of the vessel. Let's go ahead now and move to the back here, and we're going to do some more stuff with the back. So we're going to do a couple things up on top first. So let's go back to our steel blocks and make sure we have ramp C low. We're going to place that there. And then we're going to go to corners and connectors, and we're going to select this little corner small C, no, I'm sorry, corner half A3 low. And we're going to pivot it that way. We're doing that primarily to cover up our CPU extender because it's just right there. And we can't cover anything up here because that's our retractable turret, right? Now, I think for here, we're going to go back to our extensions and we're going to just put a full cube there. And this spot, if we want to, we can actually put the other RCS that we made. So let's grab that, and let's plop that RCS right there. You can place RCSs anywhere on the vessel. They don't have to be in any particular area for to do their job. And by the way, if you don't know what an RCS does, it basically it's kind of sort of an artificial way to improve the torque of the vessel. The torque meaning the turning, the rolling, and the yaw. I'm sorry, the pitch. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our extensions, and we're going to grab the corner half A3, and that's going to fit right there, like so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the one. This, I think we're going to do another cube here, and this is just going to have to be on a normal steel block, because remember, we can't have those guys touching. Okay, so now that we've got that in place, we can go ahead and do the same thing on this side with... which direction's that going? There we go. We'll put that there. Okay, so... oh, I know what the problem is. I've got this thruster too far back. That's what the issue is. The stuff wasn't quite jiving in my brain here. Okay, let's just quickly redo this. Okay, let's grab those, put them back on our toolbar. Press the T key. So the hover engines go there, and the thrusters we want to go here. Whoops. You don't have to put that little danger exhaust arrow thing up, I just like to. But it's not a requirement. That's looking better. Okay, because what was throwing me off is that I didn't have these blocks there before. Don't think it's C notched low. I think it's corner C low. Yeah, that's the one we wanted, corner C low. So yeah, we had to use something different there because, you know, this one is all rounded off here because of that transition block, whereas this one's not, in order to fully cover that. All right, cool. Now, let's go ahead and redo this. Oh, you know what? No, we're not. No, we're not. No, we're not. We're not gonna be able to put any extensions up here at all because we're gonna do something different, and we need more shapes to do what I want to do here. So there won't be any extensions up there, which means that these two extensions aren't attached. They might be later though. So yeah, let's just leave those in place. And you know, by the time it's all said and done, we might have placed a couple of extensions that aren't touching. I mean, we want to try and get all of them to touch as much as possible, but if there's a couple that aren't, it's not the end of the world. All right, so let's go back to here now. So we're going to go to our normal steel blocks. Oh man, you know what? I think we're going to need to make a few more of these. Yeah, let's go back into here. We'll choose blocks, make sure we're on hover vessel, and let's queue up. You know what? I'm just going to make 100. They're cheap. We can afford it. Let's just do it. That way we have enough. Okay. So we're going to right click and we're going to go to cubes and ramps, and we're going to choose this ramp B option that has like a little, little cut in the front there. And we're going to place this right there. And then we're going to place ramp C in front of it like that. And we're going to go back once again to our corner half A3 low. And plop that in there. Okay. And we're going to also... No, actually what we're going to put here is... We're going to go back to our extensions and we're going to put corner half A3 there. Okay. Now, we've got a situation here where... once again, we've got, a 90 degree... Or, sorry, a 45 there. And we have a 45 there, but in the front, you know, it's cut down like this. And so this is where one of those times where we need to go to our transition blocks. So we're going to hit the T key. We have to use normal steel blocks for this because you can't use transition blocks with extensions. And we're going to go to corners and connectors. And this is the block here that we're looking for. Ramp connector C right. Because if you look at it, notice that it matches the three faces that we have to put this on. So actually this side is not quite a 45. It's a little bit shallower than that to match the shallower part of this ramp connector B. The easier way to say that is just make sure you line up the lines on this with the lines on that. See? And then it pops in place. And so because we just used the right connector, now we just switch to the left connector for this side. Boom. There we go. And we got nice clean lines there. Okay. So that builds out that section. Now, I think I got to look at something here. I think what we're going to do is we're going to actually pull... Here, let's grab some more steel blocks and put those on our thingamadoodle. We're going to go here and we're going to actually pull these back up because we're going to do something different here on the back end. Okay, so what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to go switch to our 4520s. So if you guys watch the tutorial, block tutorial a few episodes ago, then you'll know what I mean when I say 4520s. If you didn't, go watch it, because you really should, in order to understand how the blocks work, or at least start to understand how the blocks work in this game. So this is our 4520, or one of them, and so I'm matching up the base of this to this 45-degree angle here, but what that's going to do is it's changing the direction of our plane on the back. Okay? So we're going to put one there, and we're going to put one there. I think. No, actually, we're not going to put one there. Pull that back up. And we call these, or I call these rather 4520s because of the fact that one plane is 45 degrees and the other is 22.5. But we just call it 20. Okay, so we need to find the block that fits underneath this, and that happens to be cut corner B. It's just like nice and snug, just like that. Okay. Now we're going to want to go to corner small C and plop that in place there, and then we're going to go to slice corner A1 and plop that in place there. Okay. We're going to leave this flat for now. I might fill it in later, but we're going to leave it flat for the moment. Okay. Now, across the top here, what we're going to do is we're going to put in ramp A, but we have to turn it the other way. So, let's see, what direction are you going? Nope. I want you to go that way, but then we'll flip it around like this. Okay, and then we're going to actually do this. I'm going to grab ramp B medium here. And it kind of messes up our line a little bit right here, but that's okay. That's not actually a problem. And the reason I'm doing that is because what we're going to do now is we're going to go back to our steel blocks, press the T key to get to our wireless toolbar, and we're going to put like a little spoiler on the end of this. And I think before we do that, let's go to our 45 group. So we go here and we get corner half A3 medium, and we're going to plop that guy right on the edge here, but we got to get it rotated correctly. Here, flip this way. There we go. Okay. So that's from our 45 group that we learned about during our block tutorial. So that kind of flares that down. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try one of two blocks here. I got to decide which one it is. Let's look at, excuse me, ramp D low first. And we'll get that. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I want. Okay. Cool. Let's see. Now, next thing we're going to do is I'm going to grab these guys and I'm going to move them back further. Let's hit F4, put them back on our toolbar, and press T. I have to see. Oh, I got to select them. Okay, so let's put these thrusters. We're going to pivot it this way, and I want to hold them back a little further. Probably to here. And that gives us another spot that we can just put a whole extension cube in there to fill that in. And then finally, for the top, we're almost done with the top, and then we're going to work on the bottom. What I'm going to do here is we have to use normal blocks so the extensions don't touch. And just to kind of switch things up a little bit so it's not the same thing all the way across, we're going to go with that, and then let's put a short ramp D in there. Again, you know, to kind of just give this side here the impression of it being almost like a little spoiler. You know, going over the top of the thrusters idea. And, you know, we can put some textures and stuff on there in different colors to make that look like it was supposed to happen. All right, cool. So I think that pretty much takes care of the top and the top half, I should say, of the vessel. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and work on the bottom. So let's see here. Let's start with the centerpiece, the spine, if you will, or the keel of the vessel here. So everything in the middle has to be normal steel, and you guys know why, because here again we can't have the extensions on both sides touching one another. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go press T to get to my toolbar. Let's temporarily take the symmetry plane off too, because we don't need it for the center line. All right, what we're going to do here is we're going to go to ramp B, and we're going to flip it this way and stick it right there. Okay, let's choose the walls, and we're just going to run a line of these, well, down to probably about there, temporarily. We're actually going to pick some of those back up in a little while. All right, now I think we're going to put our other, we're going to do this arrow blister thingamadoodle here. And that's going to go right there, just for some little deco and some pizzazz underneath the vessel here. It doesn't serve any actual function. All right, now we're going to switch to back to extensions, and we're going to go with the half block, or cube half. And we're going to run these, I think. We're going to run these all along from here. Oh, yeah, we can't click and drag, like so. Back to there. Oh crap! I forgot to put the symmetry plane on. All right, well let's lay these and then we'll put it back on. Okay, so along here now, we're going to choose this ramp B medium, but we're still on extensions. And we're going to turn it this way, and we're going to put 3 of those in there. Ah, doggone it, we ran out of extensions. Okay, let's make some more extensions. We've got 7 here, but we're going to need... How many more do I think we're going to need? Probably not a whole lot more. I'd say probably somewhere between 30 to 40, I'll bet. So let's just make 40. They're not that expensive. So we want it to be on hover vessel. We go here, and we'll just queue up. Whoops. Hell, let's make 50. We'll make 50. Okay. So let's go back to here and get this guy in place. Like so. I need to put one here too. Now we're going to go back to our steel blocks, and we're going to select this little ramp D low, and we're going to turn it this way and this way. I'm going to put those there, almost kind of like a little running board idea, if you will. Just giving the ship a little character, or the vessel rather. Little character there. Cool. Okay, now, let's go ahead and start building out the fenders. Actually, no, before we do that, I am going to... Let's put our boosters down. So we're going to pull up those blocks and those blocks. Press T, hit 4, and we're going to pop our boosters in those slots. Okay. What the boosters do is they will actually vertically boost the vessel, like it almost like jumps up in the air, and you use those to get over very rough terrain that you can't otherwise just get over without them. So yeah, they just kind of give you almost a little jump up in the air is what those do. Okay, so the boosters are in place. Now let's start building out the fender. So we need to get some more extensions here. And we're going to follow the same, at least for the first part of this, the same basic design, using cut corner E, but we just have to flip it the other way around. Sometimes it's hard to see, son of a bitch, see the angles, just because, where the way the lighting is and all that. There, we want that there. That one goes there. Okay, and then let's pick up this one. That was a mistake. And now, once again, we're going to choose corner half A3 for here. And we need to rotate it like that. We're not going to put that one in, and you'll see why later. Okay, so that builds that out. Builds those fenders out. For now, I'm just going to put a cube in here. But we might end up changing that later. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to fill in these areas. So for here, we're going to go with ramp A, and we just got to get it rotated correctly. So we want it to go, nope, not that way. We want it to go that way and then that way.